Hello and welcome to Cheapest MTG. So, all the cards from Kaladesh have been released, and welcome to the start of brewing season. Today I'm bringing you a fun combo brew. I'm not going to say it's the most competitive deck, but it's certainly a fun idea to build around with. So it takes green Big Stompy to a new level. So here goes. Three main pieces of the combo are Verdurous Gearhulk, the green Gearhulk that distributes counters, Panharmonicon, which allows your trigger abilities to trigger twice, and Saheeli's Artistry, which creates tokens that are a copy of artifacts and creatures, of which your Gearhulks are both artifacts and creatures. So the way this works is you play your Panharmonicon turn 4, you play your Verdurous Gearhulk turn 5, you get double triggers, you have a 12/12. You place Saheeli's Artistry on turn 6, and you get to bring in 2 more Verdurous Gearhulks, so you get to put 16 more counters on your first Gearhulk, and all of a sudden you have a 28/28 Trampler. So what else do we want in our deck that allows us to gear up for Hulk-Smash in a better way? Well, the first element I think would be a bit of ramp. So we're playing 4 Ulvenwald Captive, 4 Natural Connection, and 2 Primal Druids. Ulvenwald Captive is the best mana door at the moment purely because it survives Liliana. It's also not a horrendous top deck later in the game. It is a 4/6 when you flip it. Natural Connection is the remaining non-creature ramp spell with the loss of Nissa's Pilgrimage and Explosive Vegetation. I mean, it's fine, it's instant, and it means you can fetch your islands rather than just your forest like Nissa's Pilgrimage. It's obviously not as good, but it does a job. And we also play 2 Primal Druids. They're a good wall to start off with, and as you'll see later in the deck tech, there are other reasons why Primal Druid is useful. We play 4 Tireless Tracker. A great card in any green mid-range deck, to be honest. Just great card advantage, a good body as it grows, just a good threat, and helps us curve. Put some cards into our 3-drop slot, which we would otherwise struggle with. And we also play 4 Anticipate. As a combo deck, we want to dig to find parts of our combo, and Anticipate is great for that. Blue card draw at the moment is pretty weak, so we can't just go for the mass card draw spells. And Anticipate's useful. It's instant speed, and also helps fill out the curve at the 2-drop slot. On to a few more of the threats. We are almost a green-blue ramp deck, and a combo deck wants to generate time, so a great card for this is Elder Deep Fiend. Another reason we're playing Primal Druid. So we're playing 2 of those, just a very solid body, flash, so again we can play at instant speed, and just slows your opponent down while you find the pieces of your combo, which is very good. We're trying out 2 copies of Rashmi, Eternity's Crafter. Basically, Cascade is written on Rashmi, and obviously Cascade is a very powerful mechanic. Or we do have the potential to cast some quite expensive cards, so Rashmi's ability to play the card for free could be quite useful. Again, fills out the 4-drop slot, curves nicely. And a one-of in this deck is Second Harvest. Generally accepted to be a not very good card unless you're in a very dedicated token deck. But, this is a fun deck, and we are going to generate some pretty powerful tokens. If we copy those 2 Verdurous Gearhulk tokens off of Saheeli's Artistry, or even the numerous clues we have lying about for our Tireless Tracker, then Second Harvest could be really quite useful. It is only a one-off because, you only really want it at that very precise time. But, you draw it at that time, it can be great. We round out the spells with a couple of Planeswalkers, 1 copy of Nissa Vital Force. Nissa is a great card. She's a great finisher. She defends herself with her +1 ability. She's very easy to ultimate. She starts with 5 loyalty, and her ultimate is great. And even her -3 ability to return a card to your hand from the graveyard means you just get loads of value out of those cards you've spent. Even your one-of, you can cast them again. So, like I said, very good card. And we play 2 copies of Jace, Unraveler of Secrets. Jace hasn't really seen much play with Baby Jace in the format, but I think he's still a pretty good card. The card draw ability, Scrying, so it's like drawing 1.5 cards, obviously very good in the combo deck. And returning target creature to its owner's hand, again, gives you more time. It's the reason why we're playing 2 Jace rather than 2 Nissa. He works well with the combo element of the deck. The land base is pretty simple. We have double green and double blue casting costs, so we want to play as many dual lands as we can. So we play 4 Lumbering Falls, 4 Botanical Sanctum, and 4 Woodland Stream. Botanical Sanctum is a particularly good addition to the deck. Just means we can cast our spells early on. I think for Yavimaya Coast, we don't need the colourless land in this deck, so yeah, great addition. We round out the land by playing 4 Evolving Wilds, 6 forests and 3 islands. We have a good number of forests because we want to play our green spells early on, particularly our ramp creatures. Three islands just make up the number, to be honest, but we can fetch them with Evolving Wilds and Natural Connection. Play 4 Evolving Wilds as well because they're very good with Tireless Tracker. There is possibly some room to trial the value lands like Westvale Abbey in this deck. That's certainly something for playtesting. Now onto the sideboard. As with all sideboards, they are very highly meta dependent, so I would advise you to consider what your meta is when building your sideboard. But as a blue deck, we have options to a lot of counterspells. I personally choose to play Dispel, Negate, the new Revolutionary Rebuff, which I think is a very good card, and Summary Dismissal, because they all deal with threats that I would expect to see in the format. Dispel with instants, Negate with any non-creature spells, like Planeswalker heavy decks. Revolutionary Rebuff is good against aggro decks and decks that want to get on the board early, and Summary Dismissal is obviously good against any Timurge, Emrakul deck. We also have space in the sideboard for a couple of cards that are good against aggressive decks, these being Sylvan Advocate and Filigree Familiar. Advocate is just a good ground blocker. It's one of the best 2-drops in the format. You definitely want to bring it in against decks that are looking to be aggressive. It just buys you time. Works well with your Lumbering Falls as well, so there's that bit of extra value. We also play 2 Filigree Familiar in the sideboard. It's a great emerge target, and we do have the other Deep Fiends. It's good against aggro because of the life gain, and it's also not bad in a combo deck because when it dies you do draw a card. So again, it's just a very good, valuable creature to bring in some matchups. Some more narrow sideboard options. 2 Blossoming Defense. A 1-mana pump spell, a 1-mana +2/+2 pump spell is good. The fact that it gives Hexproof protects your massive Gearhulk from a lot of removal. So if you do build your 40/40 Trampling Gearhulk and cast this on it, then you're laughing because your Gearhulk will have to be multi-blocked with more than 20 defense, which isn't that likely to happen, to be honest. 1 Clip Wings. Clip Wings is still great against lots of creatures in the format, those being Emrakul and Avacyn most notably. And also 2 Naturalize. There's a lot of artifacts coming out with Kaladesh, and I expect to see Stasis Snare coming back with the loss of Dramoka's command to the format, so Naturalize is going to be good against artifacts and enchantments. And the final cards in the sideboard, we play another copy of Nissa for long games. As said before, she's just a very strong card. And a copy of Sky Sovereign Console Flagship. Probably the best vehicle in Kaladesh, in my opinion. I think of it as an Inferno Titan. Sure, you have to crew 3, but there's going to be plenty of ways to do that in this deck. And it's just a very powerful card that will come in useful in some games. So that's the deck tech. Well, what do you think? Let us know in the comments. If you like the deck, then please like the video, subscribe to the channel. There will be more deck techs in the coming weeks as we await Kaladesh. And so I hope you'll tune in for those.